I'm Will Ortner. This is Chargers Now, and we're going to talk about Daniel Jeremiah and his latest mock draft after NFL free agency, because he does have the Chargers taking a player that I think is going to be an absolute home run. And it does feel like right now General Manager Joe Hortiz is setting up his offseason to make sure that he gets this demon at pick number 22. It's a first-round mock draft only, so we're only going to dive into who that number one pick could be for the Chargers, but it is a very interesting candidate. Sound off right now in the comment section. Who do you want the Chargers to target and draft in the 2026 NFL Draft? I'm curious at who your top player is. We're going to let you know who Daniel Jeremiah's top player is, and in fact, you might find out if he's my top player as well. Let me know what your opinion is down below in the comment section. Okay, so when we look at the Chargers, here are the needs for our favorite team in LA. Obviously, interior offensive line still needs to be brought up. Tyler Biadasz is a great signing at that center position, but to sit here and say that the Chargers really put an emphasis on the rest of the interior offensive line, I would say would be wrong. Obviously, edge rusher is still a position that can be of need for this squad. Interior defensive line is someone that you could see the Chargers going after as well. And then, of course, they do still need a safety, even with the Tony Jefferson signing. Now, when I look at who could potentially be taken here by the Chargers, there's a lot of offensive linemen that I've been really focusing in on, watching a lot of tape. And as a former O-lineman, I think there's a couple different targets that they could go after and not be wrong. But in my personal opinion, there is a clear 1-1, especially for that interior offensive line. And I'm glad to know that Daniel Jeremiah agrees with me, because the player that he has the Chargers taking at pick number 22, Vega Ioane, also from the great state of Washington, like I am. This kid is unfreaking believable. In my opinion, he is the most talented interior offensive lineman in this draft. He's got strong hands, quick feet, and he's got that nastiness, that grittiness that you need from an offensive lineman. When we look at that guard position in Mike McDaniel's type of offense, you need to be able to move your feet. You need to be able to move on the run. You need to be able to get up into that second level and get after linebackers. Vega Ioane, he can do all of those things. Daniel Jeremiah had this to say on why Vega Ioane would make an excellent player for the Chargers. The Chargers thank their lucky stars that their need on interior matches up with the best player still available. Ioane would be the most talented guard. I completely agree. Vega Ioane would come in and instantly be an upgrade to this team. And if you've been watching Chargers Now since we restarted and launched the channel, you would know that I have been a big proponent whenever we do mock drafts on not just getting interior offensive line help, but getting Vega Ioane. And to me, when I look at the moves that General Manager Joe Hortiz has done this offseason so far, it feels like he has had his sights set on Vega Ioane as well. So how does he add to this team? We'll dive into that in just a moment after I let you know that you need to subscribe to the channel. We are going to have you covered. This isn't just something that we do during the season. This isn't just something that we do during the draft and free agency. We are here 365. We're going to get you daily videos on the Los Angeles Chargers and keep you covered on the latest news and rumors. So hit that sub button and you'll never miss another video that we do. Back to Ioane. When we look at the 2025 season for him, while a lot of things didn't go well for Penn State, they did for Ioane. He was fantastic. Doesn't let rushers get back to the quarterback. He's great in run blocking as well. Excuse me. And he does a fantastic job as an overall player. It's also important to mention that when you look at the offense that Penn State ran, remember 2 years ago, they used to have a offensive lineman that they'd line up in the slot and they'd use him to motion. Sometimes they'd have him line up at a fullback position. Sometimes they'd have him line up at a tight end position. That was Vega Ioane. He was the one that was doing all the different crazy things because he was athletic to do so. When I look at Ioane, he can fit into this team perfectly. And he's also the type of guard that it might be bold for me to say that he could be a generational type talent, but I truly do believe that. I know it's not a big and sexy position for the casual football fan, but everyone knows that the offensive line, one, is where the big sexies live. But more importantly, it is going to be the lifeblood of this team. He is the perfect pick for this squad and for this team in LA. He's going to fit right into how Harbaugh wants his offensive linemen to play. He's going to fit right into Mike McDaniel's scheme that he wants to run, and he's going to make sure that he keeps QB1 upright and keeps Justin Herbert feeling comfortable. I have a couple of reasons why, and why we're going to back up why Ioane is that perfect pick for this team. In my opinion, by the time that the Chargers draft at pick 22, if he's still there, there's no one else that is better. Even if you see a fall from like a Utah offensive lineman, Spencer Fano, I believe that Ioane fits better with this squad just because he's going to add instantly into that interior of this offensive line. And in my opinion, I believe that he's the best interior offensive lineman in the 2026 NFL draft class. I've reached out to some friends of mine who are in different NFL circles and in different NFL roles. They agree with me. When you talk to scouts about Vega Ioane, they agree with me. They talk about how talented he is, and they talk about how much of a fierce competitor Ioane is, how well he is going to fit into multiple different schemes and fit for multiple different teams. The Chargers are just lucky that one, interior offensive line doesn't get the type of love that some of the other positions will in different drafts. But more importantly, the Chargers are lucky that there's not another team that really needs an interior offensive lineman or values Vega Ioane in the way that I do. When we look at the top offensive linemen in the 2026 NFL draft, Ioane right now still comes in that fifth spot, but to me, it's important to note that when you look at a Francis Mauigoa or a Spencer Fano or a Monroe Freeling or a Blake Miller, these are guys that also play on the edges or can play on the edges, which is why they're going to be higher valued. Ioane is going to be an interior offensive lineman. And for whatever reason, that is just a position that teams don't value as highly. But let's draw a comparison now. Look at the Seattle Seahawks. They had an issue in their interior offensive line last year. What did they do? They went after the top guard in that draft. His name is Gray Zabel, and he helped relaunch, reflip, and revamp that offensive line unit. No, I'm not saying that Vega Ioane is going to do the exact same thing as Gray Zabel, but I could see a world where he would. And now all of a sudden that run game is there. Now all of a sudden Justin Herbert feels comfortable because he's got the best guard in this draft protecting him. And now the Chargers don't have to worry about that left guard or right guard, whichever position they decide to play him in. They don't have to worry about that for years to come because they know they have it locked down. When I look at Vega Ioane, he is the perfect fit for this team. And the most important thing as well is there is a position of need, and that is what he would fill. There's always a debate. Do you go after the best player or do you go after the best player in a position that you need? Well, guess what? The best player available for the Chargers at pick 22 is more than likely going to be a player that is also going to fill the need that the Chargers have. Look at the offensive line depth chart. Do you feel comfortable right now with Trevor Penning and Cole Strange going at it and being your two guards on the inside? If there's an injury, this Chargers team could be in real trouble. And it's almost like general manager Joe Hortiz didn't learn from last year. So in my opinion, this is the best case scenario for this Chargers team. You are getting the best player available, and you're getting him at a position of need that you need to grow. So when I look at this Chargers team, when I look at this crew, to me, this is a perfect landing spot for Ioane. This is a perfect player to land for the Chargers. Grade Daniel Jeremiah's mock draft down below in the comment section. A, B, C, D, or F. You can't put E. E is for everyone. But let us know what your opinion is down below in the comment section. I think if you ask me, this is A++++. That's 100%. You knocked it out of the park. Daniel Jeremiah. Make sure that you like today's video, especially if you love the Chargers. The more likes that we get on a video like this one, it allows us to know that we need to do more mock draft content, whether it's reacting to those videos or it's me making up our own as well. Also, make sure that you hit that sub button. We're trying to grow the channel. Chargers now, can we get to 3K subs by the draft? I think that's possible. I think we could potentially get to 4K subs What's the best way to do that? You hit that sub button. You share the video with a friend of yours who loves the Chargers as well. Thank you guys so much for watching our video today. Make sure that you bolt up.